eyes with insights, wisdom, compassion, genuine authenticity, and deeper truth. There's a lot of major changes. I literally put the phone here, okay, exactly where it is, and this light over me is just there, okay. Major changes, okay. We want to get to a point where we are seeing ourselves, that we aren't mirroring, okay, and getting confused, that when we are faced with somebody, when we are in front of somebody, there's a less mirroring activity here, less mirroring, but knowing who you are with yourself in this situation, in this circumstance, whatever that may be, with whomever, or with yourself, or you just having to sit with yourself and knowing who you are. I'm following the rhythm here. This energy is coming through heavy. This energy is coming through heavy and potent and strong, collective, because these changes come with confusion. These changes come with getting to know yourself more. And in getting to know yourself more, you're going to have to fight with these demons. You're going to have to, you're in a battle. You battle with these demons, okay? Battling with your mind and where you are with your mind. There's a lot of heavy conflicts that come with this. You may be finding yourself in certain situations, even you having a moment with yourself or a moment with somebody where you feel like, you know, you got to adjust yourself when you don't need to adjust yourself because you're being influenced somehow. Now, when you find yourself in this moment where you feel like you're being influenced by others' behaviors, by others' intentions, if you will, okay, back up. There's something very significant about mere numbers, 808, 909, 323, that kind of mirror numbers. As I talk about mirroring, okay, these moments, situations that we are being put in mirroring one another, okay, is to appreciate each other, is to see each other at our highest, at our greatness. I'm following the rhythm here. These moments, situations where we are being faced to mirror one another is to see each other's greatness. It's not to berate each other, 323, as I say that. It's not to degrade the other because the other know more, or it's not to underestimate somebody's intelligence, you know, and you're seeing this for yourself because you think that you're better. You know, it's those situations, being put in situations where our pride is being tested. That where you are with your perception and how you see yourself. Okay, this is how you are also seeing others. So if you are one finding yourself to be at your highest right now, you are at a higher frequency, and you know yourself to be in this higher frequency, you've really gotten to know yourself and where you are with your frequency. So when you are facing somebody else who may not be in the same frequency as you, you are to respect them. Vice versa. Right? That when you know yourself to be at a higher frequency and you're facing somebody who may not be on the same level as you, you are to respect them. And they too is to respect them and respect you. That's the test. That's the pride I'm talking about, collective. Hear me. 454. It is where you are with how you see yourself is how you see others, is how you are seeing others. So, for us who may be in a place where we don't really feel good about ourselves, we're not so confident about ourselves right now, we're not really feeling confident, know it and affirm to yourself. Affirm to yourself. I think it's more of being honest with yourself than affirming, that you know exactly where you are, and right now you may not be feeling the greatest, you may not be feeling the most confident, but just know it. That you don't have to go around and degrading other people the same way you feel about yourself. It is a test of where you are with your pride. That's a major change. That's a major shift that we're all feeling right now, the internal shift that we're feeling right now. And it's not going to feel great. Perhaps a lot of us don't feel great about ourselves because you may be one out here telling people you're this and you're that, and you've been doing this and you've been doing that. But what people are seeing from you is your behaviors. And your behaviors may not be aligned with your words and your actions and your habits. That you could just be saying it and verbally saying it, right? But you're not aligning yourself. You're not so much aligned with your behavior. And so what people are seeing from you, what people are seeing is your behaviors, and it's not aligning with what you're saying. And I feel like this is where pride comes in. That when you don't feel so confident, or you're not feeling so good about yourself, be honest. And even like take a moment to say it out loud to yourself. I don't feel good about myself. I have done wrong. I don't feel good about my sins. I have done this and I have done that, and I'm not proud of it. It's a moment to appreciate yourself in that moment. First of all, it's appreciating where you are with yourself right now. Giving yourself the compassion. Okay, I'm following the rhythm here. Look at the green. Look at the green. It's a moment of appreciating 757, appreciating this moment right now, right here. And then being completely honest of how you feel, and not letting your pride get in the way. You hear what I'm saying, collective? That when you're letting your pride get in the way, you are doing more harm to yourself than you are this. It is, in fact, this that is hurting us. There's a lot of hurt there. There's a lot of hurt, 838. There's a lot of hurt there. Well, I don't care. This person did this to me, and I don't care. This person cheated on me, and I don't care. This person made me feel this way. Do you hear the blame in the dialogue, in the inner dialogue? Do you hear the blaming, the pointing fingers, right? That's the pride. 858. That's the pride. It's a means to get in this moment right now and go, yes, I did this wrong. And I take accountability for it. Yes, I had said that. And I forgive myself. I forgive. God, forgive me. It's a moment of appreciating yourself and being honest with your faults. Being honest with the things that you had done and the wrong that you had done, 939. That when you are faced with somebody else who is just as great as you are, and where you have been in this journey, this self-journey, this self-love journey, when you are faced with somebody who is just as great as you are to respect each other in this moment. Wow, I found somebody who is just as great as I am. I found somebody who is just as artistic as I am. I found somebody 1010 who is just as compassionate as I am. This is God's gifts. This is God showing us, wow, there is somebody out there who is just like me. Wow, I want to cry. I want to cry. It feels heavy in my heart. It feels so heavy in my heart because God's children has been hurt and have been berated and have been neglected and abandoned. And the hurt has taken over us that we are forgetting how great we are. We are forgetting how amazing we are. It's like, what's love got to do with it if you don't love yourself? Right? What does love have to do with anything if you don't love yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, and if you don't think you're that amazing? How do you think you're going to be toward other people around you? I think some of us are getting really confused here. That's the pride that's confusing you. Yeah? Excuse me. That's the pride that's confusing us. Love will get you killed, but pride's gonna be the death of you and you and me and you and me and me and you. Kendrick Lamar, 12:12. I posted this on my Instagram. Just recently, I posted that song on my Instagram. But pride's gonna be the death of you and you and me and me and you and you and me. It's our pride, you see. Leo is the pride. What you got to prove? What do you got to prove, and what are you trying to prove, and what is it that you're trying to prove? Are you proving it to yourself, though? Why do you need to prove to me? Prove it to you. This is where I come back with the mirroring thing again, collective. Hear me? This is where I come back with the mirroring thing. I just heard compassion. Ooh. Perhaps the antidote to pride is compassion, collective. That when you are faced with somebody who is just as great as you, acknowledge their greatness. Acknowledge their greatness, because you know how it feels when somebody berates your greatness, collective. I'm following the rhythm here. And you know, I do feel also at the same time, and I feel like this is coming from me mostly than coming from spirit. It's where you are with your consciousness and where you are with your awareness, your self-awareness. How do you see yourself, collective? 14:14. How do you see yourself? I feel like the questions why, how, where, and when, I feel like it's the question why. Why? Why am I like this? Why did this happen to me? Why am I in this level? Why do I feel this way? Why do I treat myself this way? Why am I like this? Why do I act this way? And why do I say these things but I don't act on it? Why? Why do I keep acting on this thing that is not reciprocating back to me? Why am I attracting this thing that is only going to take from me, but not so much gaining from? Why? Why? I also have this card and it came out, but I'm not understanding why it came out. I'm still trying to understand what this is. And what? Okay. I just got chills on my right arm. I think that it has something to do with the childhood, okay? What you remember about your childhood. What is it about yourself that you remember about your childhood that you love the most? Like, what was it about your childhood that you love the most, that you remember yourself to be so free? I'm feeling free, you know? Like a time in your childhood where you really felt good about yourself. I like me this way. I like me this way. This is in fact who I am. Come back to that. Reflect on that. I feel like I'm speaking very passionately with fire. What is it about my childhood I remember most, and who was I as a child? Let me just backtrack. Let me just step back a little bit and reflect on who I was as a child. Because I love that child. What happened to that child? How did it get to this point where I'm not really loving myself? But at that time in my childhood where I did this and I played with that and I was free-spirited, I really loved myself. That's you. That's the real true you. That is the real true you. Like, for example, for our females, if you were this feminine, and in Tagalog, in my language, it's called maarte. Maarte, kikai, very girly, right? Kikai, girly. Like, as a child, you were this kikai, you were very girly. You liked to wear bows in your hair and you liked to wear dresses. That was who you were. That's the real true you. You felt comfortable in that dress. You felt comfortable in that look that you put together. That was you. You loved makeup. You loved fixing your hair. That was you. Somehow something happened and you were kind of misled. As you got older, you were misled. No, this is who you are. No, this is who you are. No, this is who you are. And then you got confused somewhere along the way. You got so confused, people started saying, no, this is you, and this is you, and this is you. And you're like, wait a minute, let me just sit with myself for a second, because I don't think that's me. I think that's what you want me to be. I think the people around you has so much opinion about you that you forgot who you are. No, I think I know who I am. This is the part where you stand up for yourself, collective. This is the part where you stand up for yourself. No, this is who I am. Stamp on it. This is who I am. You don't control my life. You don't control my identity. This is who I am, and I've known myself to be this person my whole life. Remembering who you were as a child. Perhaps, collective, we've had so many people voice out their opinions about who we should be. that we've completely forgotten who we are. You have made your wall so thick and strong that nobody can get to you. The pride. And perhaps while we're in the middle of this retrograde, oh, here it comes. Lord. But a lot of this is taking place, and what comes with the healing, it's pretty gross. And it's looking pretty gross, and it's kind of feeling disgusting, because before it even gets to the really, really good part, you gotta feel the ick about yourself, and you gotta see the ugly. You gotta see the ugly first. You gotta look at the ick first before it even gets to the good part. When you are telling yourself and you're seeing yourself in the mirror and you're like, wow, I really love that person in front of me. I think that person is darn beautiful. You know what I mean? It's stuff like, it's that kind of vibe that's coming through. A lot of this is taking place, and perhaps it needs to, because we've been too much in our pride that it's weighing heavy on us now, and you've completely forgotten who you are, because there are so many voices on the external making opinions about you and who you should be, because they don't either feel comfortable around you. That to feel comfortable around you, they have to make you this character they want you to be, right? Yesterday, I was telling myself, I was having my talk with myself when I was walking, that there are people who listen and really listening to you, right? And what you're saying and your words and your body language, whatever that may be, they're listening to. Listening is a skill, you see. There's levels to listening. And then there are people who listen, but only listen to what they want to hear from you, so that they don't have to accept this person that you truly are, because either they're jealous of you, they're envious about something in your life that they want, they're holding on to animosity about you, secret competition with you, all those nasty, gross things that we don't want to hold on to. It literally is the same thing as you listening to yourself and going, wait a minute. And reflection. Wait a minute, this is not who I am. This is what they wanted me to be. This is who they want me to be, but this is not who I am. This is not my character. You guys are experiencing, people projecting onto you and even like making you out to be this character they want you to be, because they just won't accept the character that you are. I just heard it has become a problem. It is misleading our children, misleading God's children. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? That's not who I am. Wait a minute, I know I've been reflecting on myself. I know who I am. I stand on it. I stand in my power, and I stand grounded in who I am. What are you talking about? Why are you trying to confuse me? It's like the pride is getting in the way, and when the pride gets in the way, we have this tendency to want to change things and people. And you know what? You can see it in somebody's eyes when they're trying to switch you up or change you. You can just see it in somebody's eyes. It's like a side-eye type of look. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but it's like a side-eye. If I can just change their story, if I can just change who they are, then I'd feel more comfortable around them. No. Respect, always. People. Respect God's children, always. And respect Satan's children, always. Respect them. But do not allow them to take control over your life. Respect them and listen to them well. But don't ever allow somebody to take control over your life and over your identity and over your happiness, over your path, God's work. We're all going in the same place. We're all going in the same place, just different times, different timelines, different pace. But always being reminded that going in your own pace is the pace to go into. We're all being directed to go in the same place, collective, but we're experiencing it differently. We're all experiencing this differently, but we're all heading in the right place. We're all heading in the same place. It is a matter of how we are dealing with ourselves and how we are loving ourselves and how we are respecting ourselves at the same time respecting other people. I'm following the rhythm here, and this is coming with a lot of passion right now. I feel chills all over my body, and I'm even feeling this for myself because I'm going through a lot in my life right now. I'm going through a lot.